We got another story that we get to you guys. Before we do, please smash that like button, subscribe, turn on the notifications, let us know that you're here. Really appreciate everybody rolling up. But we have got more information. We've got Nancy Pelosi actually melting down, which brings the entire J6 scandal right back to the forefront. This is classic. This is classic Pelosi. I don't know if she was drunk or whatnot, which is quite possible. But you've got to check out this clip. And then we're going to dive into the rest of the J6 story. Here we go.
Congresswoman Pelosi, are you at all concerned that the new January 6th committee will find you liable for that day? Are you at all concerned about the new January 6th committee finding you liable for that day? Why did you refuse the National Guard on January 6th?
Shut up. I did not refuse the National Guard. The president didn't send it. Why are you coming here with Republican talking points as if you're a serious journalist?
The American people want to know. We still have questions. Thank you.
Wow. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. So there's Nancy Pelosi going on a screed, spouting the biggest lie, not the biggest lie, but one of the biggest lies of J6. Trump didn't send the National Guard. No. Trump offered the National Guard 3 days prior to January 6th, 4 days prior to, or 2 days prior, 1 day prior, on the day of, throughout the day, and it was not Donald Trump. And we're bringing the receipts here in the next couple of videos because Nancy Pelosi has drugged this up again with her stupid meltdown outburst. We are now going to dive back into the J6. We're going to look at the timeline and we're going to look at Pelosi on video, self-owning her own responsibility and the fact that this was her creation from the get-go. The only question remains, was it complete and utter incompetence or was it completely and totally planned? And that's the question that has to get to the bottom of. That's what the new J6 committee has to find out. And that's where indictments have to roll downhill. So let's check this out because I want to dive into this first and then we've got some of the proof, some of the video proof. But here's Chief Stephen Sund in his post talking about that day, talking about his requests for National Guard support. We'll pull this up. Ma'am, let me refresh your memory. It was your sergeant at arms who repeatedly denied my multiple requests for National Guard assistance before and on January 6th. Even on January 6th, your sergeant at arms denied my urgent requests for over 70 minutes while he was running it up the chain for approval. Here are the continued requests for National Guard support from Chief Stephen Sund that were denied by Nancy Pelosi. January 3rd, January 6th at 1, January 6th again at 1, at 1:20, at 1:28, 1:34, 1:39, 1:45, 2:01, 2:08. Oh, finally, it gets approved. And how do we know that this is accurate? Well, again, Chief Stephen Sund is documenting this here. We've got 2 videos from Pelosi herself, and then we got the fact that Trump authorized the National Guard as early as January the 3rd. So check this out from Pelosi. This is absolutely just great stuff. And it's funny because they were so intent on framing Trump and framing MAGA that Pelosi had her, I believe it's her daughter, out filming this so they could create a documentary for the J6 Unselect Committee. And now all that footage can be used against Pelosi to basically debunk all of her fantastical delusions and lies about that day. Check this out, her writing as they flee the Capitol.
So what's the prospect? We're going to stay here all day, the rest of our lives, or what? We're here until what? Until the National Guard decides to come and get rid of these people? Oh my God, I can't believe the stupidity of this. And I take full responsibility.
I take full responsibility. Now, video 2, while she's walking the halls, again, being filmed by her daughter for this ridiculous quote unquote documentary, which is nothing more than a dramatization that they were going to play for the J6 Unselect Committee. So here we got Nancy.
How many times did the members ask, are we prepared? Are we prepared? We're not. Prepare for the worst. We're calling the National Guard. Now, should have been here to start out.
They should have been here to start out with. Yes, they should have, Miss Pelosi, but they weren't. Why were they not there to begin with? Well, because of this reason right here. Because you denied them over and over and over and over again. The fact that the National Guard were not there is 100% your fault. And just to prove that Trump authorized them, the Oversight Committee has documented this so they can see that Trump actually, January 3rd, President says, hey, look at this. There's going to be a large number of protesters here on the 6th. Make sure you have sufficient National Guard or soldiers to make sure it's safe. POTUS, hey, I don't care if you use Guard or soldiers, active duty soldiers. Do whatever you have to do. Just make sure it's safe. Christopher Miller, acting Secretary of Defense. The president commented they were going to need 10,000 troops the following day. On January 6th, everyone was like, did you listen to the president's speech? I'm like, the guy speaks for like 10 minutes. So, Chief Sund, here's his documentation of his making repeated requests. Trump had already authorized the National Guard. The National Guard was authorized. The National Guard was approved by Trump. The only people who did not approve the National Guard who needed to were Nancy Pelosi and Muriel Bowser. January 6th falls squarely on Nancy Pelosi's shoulders. The only question remains, was that acting in those two videos where she said, why is the National Guard here? Was that acting in order to try to frame Trump? Or was she literally that incompetent that she doesn't know she denied it 8 times? I don't think it's incompetence. I think they planned this. You've got Nancy Pelosi on other videos salivating over the idea of a trespassing in the Capitol. They were looking for this. And don't forget the 2 pipe bombs. That story that suddenly disappeared. When people actually breached the Capitol, suddenly the pipe bomb story disappears. But now we know that there were 300 agents in the crowd, that there were agents, actual FBI agents, opening doors, shattering windows, that it was the FBI agents and informants and the BLM Antifa instigators that broke the windows, tore open the chains, got the doors open, and got people, instigated them into the Capitol. This was a Fedsurrection from day one, I believe. Nancy Pelosi is 100% in on the scam. Her claims of where the National Guard, those are performative. They're acting in order to try to frame Trump after the fact for not sending the Guard, not thinking that all of this is documented, that everybody knows she denied the Guard over and over again because they wanted this to happen. Let me know what you think in the comments. Really appreciate, again, everybody rolling up.